Here we'll learn how we can define spot colors within Invent and transfer them for use in our MegaEdit products. As we shall see, spot colors can be defined in various locations within Invent, including as part of a color resource set, as a default color for a color variable, a specified color for a field property, and various other locations. These spot colors are exported as part of the MEX file, resulting in one or more spot color categories being created and utilized within MegaEdit. In this tutorial, we'll see examples of where we can apply and utilize these spot colors. So we're going to begin with a basic pre-configured Invent template. And what we're going to start off with, if we go to the resources section, is a predefined color resource set. So I'm just going to edit that just to show its additional details. Now a color resource set has been created containing two colors in this case. The navy color that we've got here has been defined as a spot color. So if we go to the edit button and then change color, and you'll see the same control if you're just adding a new color up here, you'll see that when you're specifying the RGB value of the color, underneath there you'll also have the ability to enable it as a spot color and then to define a name for that particular spot color. Contrary to that, the blue color is not a spot color. So if I go to edit this one and follow the same process, you'll see that spot color is not enabled for this particular color. Okay, next along in our predefined template here, we've got two variables that have also been created. One of these variables links directly to the spot colors, and that's spot colors from all sources, as we'll discuss as we go through this tutorial, while the second one is linking to colors only from our defined color resource set. And this is just for comparative purposes. So these are both color variables. So they're created if I go to add variable, and then you'll see we have color variable we can use as one of the options. If I just go in there and edit one of our color variables, so the spot colors, you'll see that the way I've actually linked this, in our mode, we have the option between RGB, CMYK, we can link directly to a resource set if we want to, but we also have the ability to just directly link to spot colors. So any spot color that's been defined anywhere within our Invent file will be included in that particular variable. And then for comparative purposes, we've also got this all colors variable. So if I just go and edit that one, you'll see that this one is instead linked to one of our resource sets. So it's our color resource set, which is one we just created a few moments ago, where we just have two colors specified, one of which is a spot color, one of which isn't. But in this case, it doesn't matter because we're just using the entire resource set. Now moving on to the properties of some of our fields that we have in our artwork. So if I start off with this one that I've labeled as spots and going to properties. So field properties are another example of locations where spot colors can be defined. So in this particular example, we've set a static color to the text color property, but we've also saved that color as a spot color using the same methodology as we did do in the previous process. So you'll see I've selected a color or input an RGB value, but again, I've selected this as a spot color. In this particular example, the background field has also been linked to the spot colors variable. So what that should do in this case, just for context, is when we actually take this to MegaEdit, we should be able to choose between available spot colors in our form, and then the background of that particular field would change to that spot color. So for comparative purposes, the second field has been linked to a static color in terms of the text, but that static color has not been defined as a spot color. Then the background of that comparative field has been linked to our all colors variable. Now remember that in turn links to our color resource set, which has 2 colors contained within it. At this point, we'd go ahead and export the template and upload it to MegaEdit. In our case, that's been done prior to the recording of this tutorial, so I'll just load up that particular browser. So the first thing I've done is navigated to my MegaEdit configuration settings for the particular uploaded product, and I've navigated to the Spot Colors tab. And the reason I'm bringing you here is that you can see as part of that MEX file import into MegaEdit, we can see that 2 new spot color categories have been created, and they've automatically been applied to the product. If I then navigate to the MegaEdit general data, and again click on the spot color categories, here we can see what is actually contained within those 2 new spot color categories. So we can get to those details just by clicking on the configure button next to the relevant categories. Now, before I do that, you can see that there has 2 been created. One is under the name colors, which is the name of our resource set that we created. And one of them is just under the name standard. So let's start with colors. So we can see there that the defined spot colors within there are just the ones that were defined in the particular color resource set. In comparison, the ones that have been put into the standard category are the spot colors that have been specified elsewhere. So in our case, we did it on a variable default value, and we did it on one of our property fields. So if we now take a look at the actual MegaEdit product itself, just to see what that actually does. So to start off with the spot color variable that we've got first on our list. So as a reminder, this variable was linked directly to our defined spot colors. And what we can see when I click on this is all of the spot colors are selectable, regardless of where they were created. So we've got the navy, which was from the color resource set, but we've also got the one from the default variable color, and we've also got the one from the field properties. So all of the spot colors defined in that invent file are available under the spot colors category. And then again, just as a comparative purpose, so let me just change that color to show it working. And then again, in comparison, the all colors drop-down only lists the colors that were present in its linked resource of the generated color set. So you see we only have 2 particular colors in there. One of these was defined as a spot color, the navy. One of them wasn't, but because we're linking just to a resource set, that doesn't matter.